Got it. Good evening, everybody. Tonight is April the 2nd, 2024. This is the community association meeting for April 2024. Um, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining me. Yes, I was told that I needed to say hello first if nobody heard that. But I'm pretty sure I did say hello. Um, I was raised better, I promise you. Like I said, thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being in this time, in this place, in this space. I know you guys have other things that you could do, but you came to hang out with me for a second. The first, Miss Bronzell, did you get my text message? Yeah, I sent you a text message. You're on mute though.
You sent me a text message today?
Yes, ma'am. I sent you a message asking if you were ready. Are you ready? You're Miss Nancy.
Let me see. I'm not a cell phone person. I may not look at my phone anymore until tomorrow.
Okay. Well, tomorrow's what I needed though.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let me see. Okay, let's see.
Invoices are going out. Invoices and newsletter, yeah. Okay.
I will be ready. I have to check with Nancy and I'll let you know.
Okay, I've got those.
I'll check with her later on and I'll text you yes or no.
Okay, I've got those on the way, so they should be here tomorrow. So I'll have everything ready. But let me know. Yes, ma'am.
Will you deliver them tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am, if you want me to.
Well, it's going to be rainy and everything.
Is it? Well, then
supposed to be raining all day tomorrow, almost like it was today or worse.
We'll just check on the weather. We'll wing it.
Okay. No problem. Okay.
And I'll check with you.
Okay.
Thank you. The invoices, those are going out. I have also arranged that there's a way that if anyone is interested, if they would like to just drop their dues in the envelope off to me. I did get a locked, what do you call it? A security box, mailbox, and I put it on my front porch just recently. So text or, text, email, whatever with if you want the address. I'm not just gonna give it out because I might have warrants. But my phone number is 443-934-0190. You'll be more than welcome to drop those off. It's a secured box. I think that'll help a lot of people.
Bequeathed, I'm sorry, could you give me that phone number again, honey?
443-934-0190.
Thank you.
Not a problem. I'm not gonna tell you what's in the newsletter because it took me a year to write it. But I do have that. I did make a note that we are about to send out letters for the covenant violations. At the moment, I'm working on screenshots because I'd like to submit the screenshots and say this is what we see the issue is. And if it's not, let us know, hey, it's a bad shot, it's a whatever. But I'm working on those. A couple of the things we have not a lot, but we have some black doors, we have some gray porches. And I pulled up a screenshot of a gray porch. And I have two just kind of right across the street from each other. If I can share the screen. Okay. Sharing the screen. And we have, can you guys see this? Okay, there it is.
Mhm.
This is a gray porch. That is a no-no. We decided we are going after those, fortunately and unfortunately. I don't know what we've come up with about this door, because that's not white. And I don't know. It's not white, but it tried. Across the street from this, wait a minute. Across the street from this one is an example, yeah, of a porch that's painted. That's more on the line of what that's a little bit better. It's more of a cement color. That's the color we're going to be looking for. That's to be acceptable right there. Does this still have, no, this is not the block that has the black door. It may be up the street a little bit. I can still drive up the street a little bit, I guess. Yeah, we have a black door right there. I don't know if it's gonna need to be painted. Not quite sure what to, I don't necessarily feel comfortable in giving hold on. I don't necessarily feel comfortable in giving a suggestion of giving a suggestion, because I don't want it to look as though we are trying to drum up business for someone else. And we're not, this is all a part of the covenant. That's just not a part of it. And we want to keep things as close to the original, and keep things, kind of lined up just right. I have a friend who said to me, I told her about our covenant, and she thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe you guys don't allow people to have creativity over their own homes. Oh, you can have all the creativity you want without distracting from the property next to you. That's my answer for that. We are a community, not just a bunch of people. We are a community, and we want it to continue to look like a community. And the more I see it, and the more green starts to pop out and everything, Emerson Heights is a beautiful community. I would never take that away from us, and I don't want anybody else to take that away from us. So yes, green rails are permitted because they were a part of the original color scheme. I think it went from green to black, but black and green rails are what we're accepting. No white rails, no black doors, no black storm doors. And one of the things I have documented here is that we've discussed in the past sort of amending the covenant. And I think it's time for us to start keeping notes on how we would like for it to be amended. And I haven't, it was brought to my attention that there's someone who has a red roof. And I have to pay attention to the covenant, see if that's okay. But I don't think they can just go and paint the roof. But if any of us think of ways that we'd like to see it amended, we can discuss it. And I'm taking notes. We're taking notes, and we can just keep that going until we have something that we can come up with and say, this is what we want to do now. I have to check to see Ed, do you know if we would have to get a percentage, if we have to have like the community's consent, or have them sign something that says they're okay with amending the covenant?
You can, yeah, it can be amended, and if there is a vote to be taken on a major change, it has to be a majority of the residents.
Okay. Okay.
Now, can I go back to the the one stairwell on Harwell?
Yes.
That looked awfully light gray to be anything like concrete or the mortar. There's a formula that for a paint mix that works in the
Mhm.
covenants.
It is.
And
I have it too.
yeah, and it's done through Home Depot in their fair brand of paint.
Mhm.
So, and it was a covenant established when the original was written up in 52. The formula was made then, and
Okay.
Home Depot agreed to do that for residents.
Okay. So we definitely need some, what do you call it? I thought maybe get some samples and to compare it by.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
looks very much like the mortar color that used. Now, the mortar color that's used in this community matches the foundation almost perfectly on the original build.
Okay.
And that is a specific mortar mix done to match the area because it's sand in the mortar mix to match what's available in the area.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why the covenant was written that way with the formulation in the paint guide in the covenants.
Okay.
So they can go to Home Depot and ask for Behr paint in this formulation, take a copy of the covenants with them. And they
Okay.
have, it tells them how to mix the paint to make it.
Okay. And that's, if I could rewind it, I'd go back and say that
Yeah.
gray at that porch was not, because when I looked at mine was done over in cement. So I
Yeah,
thought I painted, but it was done over in cement. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, make sure to send that out with it. Um, okay. I just um
Mental note.
yes, mental note. I got all kinds of notes because I get to see everybody here. So I get to see faces coming in. So I want to let me pay attention here. Um who we have. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I have Miss Bonnie here, Bonnie Sorek, and from no, you are from Interfaith. Tell me, Bonnie. Yes, yes,
Partners for
Interfaith
Chesapeake.
Partners of the Chesapeake. Yes, that is exactly. It was sitting in front of me because I got something in the mail recently. So, and this is me just kind of transitioning over to conversation about our green spaces and what we have coming up with our green spaces here. Um, by the morning, everyone is gonna get a survey. Neighbor Space spoke with us about a survey last month, and I got the survey, and we're gonna send it out. And it's basically what the plan is. One, we missed our deadline to spend our $16,000, but the plan is to ask for forgiveness. To ask for forgiveness later and spend as much of it as we can in the meantime. What the plan is for now, we're looking at the workshops that we're going to be doing. Sorry to do this. This is so rude of me. I'm so rude. We're working on planning workshops for kind of gardening. There's a group of guys from Baltimore City who basically they'll come out and they'll give us show us what we can do in some of the gardening things. This is not good. I can't find my notebook. This is why I'm but so we're looking at the survey is going to ask if you are interested in working with us. Are you interested in actually having some gardening done to your yard? We're looking to use different yards as learning areas, kind of classrooms, and to just show people, probably people on a certain block. I'd like to get either houses on each block if that's possible, but it will ask you if you're interested, what time of day, what would be good for you. And we just want to kind of narrow a couple of things down. We spoke about it being on maybe a Saturday, an upcoming Saturday, but there's also opportunities for a couple of weekdays too. I think so that we can narrow it down. So, I mean, for some people, a weekday may be fine. A weekend, I think overall as a community may be better, but you can prove me wrong. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know is what I mean. We'll work on that. We'll just see what everyone says. As far as if you'd like to, hey, if you'd like to have people step on your yard and learn, but they'll learn different gardening techniques. They'll learn about um, invasive, they'll learn about all of these things, but your yard would be the palette for doing that. We're looking at, we're sending a survey also because we want to have a head count. We're looking at doing giveaways, which one we're looking at a shrub, maybe some, I know it's a shrub, and some gardening tools, and a couple of yeah, a couple of things to go into your garden. We just want to know who's interested, who'd like to come out and join us so we can kind of get a better, we know how to set up. And overall, one goal is to teach. Another goal is to encourage, if there are any, like I've said before, you've got any younger people, any young adults who just don't know necessarily what they're going to do when they get out of school, or what they're going to do for the summer, or what they're going to do, that gardening and landscaping is something great. It's something great to do, to be able to contribute to your surroundings, to be able to contribute to your neighborhood, to your pockets even. So if you have a young adult, a old adult, you got whatever you got, if they're interested, we want to know, so that we can we can be prepared. And I do feel as though there will be people who go, hey, what are you guys doing? And they'll walk up anyway, and we'll just try to be prepared for that. But we do want to be able to make it a learning experience, which is a part of the grant. But we also want, it's a part of making Evanston Heights look better. And it's so that we can get some people, hopefully, who want to volunteer in making Evanston Heights look better, maybe past your yard just a little bit, but your yard and your interest is very important. So it'll definitely be, I'll send it out probably by morning. I was well, anyway, the email is ready to go out, but I need to explain it to everyone first. I'm pretty sure the deadline to get this, to fill this out and turn it back in, is April the 12th. It's really simple. I just went through it myself, probably five questions. If there's something that you want to know or want to suggest outside of the survey, let me know. We do have a subcommittee to work on putting this together, so that you're not just hearing it from me, or it's not just coming from, everything's not coming from my brain. So we will be meeting again soon without me being in a panic going, what are we going to do? Let's get together now. And I am sorry to the subcommittee for doing that. Also, Bonnie, you got something for me? For us, I'm sorry, us. There you go.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just listening. Yep.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I be respectful of your time. Um, but yeah, we were looking to, yeah, doing some giveaways. I may have gone above. I just kind of went wild with the giveaways, so I have to get permission. He may have to slim down a little bit because we just have this funding, and if we have the funding and we're not going to use it all, I'm thinking let's just use it on some quality things. We would also have to pay the workforce group, Grow Home, I think is the name, Grow Home. We'd have to pay them to come out and teach and give some instructions and things. I heard they're really good on this. We have to obtain them first and get them. They're very busy, so we have to get them first. I think it has the possibility if we all work together. If we all work together, I think we have the capability of doing something really nice for the neighborhood. Um, there's creative forces way bigger than mine going on here, and way bigger than mine going on here. So, and there's some beautiful yards. There's some beautiful yards in this neighborhood. Mine is not one of them, but because I don't have that creativity, I'd love to copy off of any of you. But let's, you know, let's bring up our let's bring up the cost of the community. Let's bring up the cost of our homes and the cost of our neighborhoods. And I've always said that if the community looks loved, people will love it. If it looks thrown away, people will throw it away. And I'm not ready to move. I've been here probably 13 years and I don't think I'm unpacked fully yet. So that is what I actually do. I enjoy Edmondson Heights. I am comfortable walking my dog at night here. I don't have a problem. I think we're a tucked away little community here. Not more tucked away than Granville, but it is but we're tucked away, it's quiet, and I don't think we get the credit we deserve for being just a nice community here. But that's okay. Um that is me moving on. Homes for Gardens, I got that. Segueing into us being a nice little neighborhood. I don't see Officer Benz Clark here, so I wanted to see if she had a report for us to give. But there was an issue with some vehicles they've just been stationary for a while. I think we've had Langford and Claridge.
Mm-hmm.
Officer Benz Clark has checked on those. She's ticketed those. She's given them the good check see, and she's ticketed those. That happened as soon as possible. Um, it was really quick. Um, does anyone know about the Penske truck? We got rid of the Penske truck on Barrett. Whatever the budget truck on Barrett.
Yeah.
I'm the Penske truck on is Claridge or Langford. Is someone work? Do we know what's going on with that? No. Okay. Just wanted to. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere anytime soon. And when Claridge says something or Langford says something, I'll say something. Also, let me make a note because I don't notice this until I'm out walking the dog. Does anyone else have purple lights outside besides Claridge?
Yes, the 1600 block of Langford, we still have a purple light right outside.
Okay. Is it it's a purple light at the end of Granville and Forest Park.
And I also think it's one in the 1600 block of Kirkwood as well.
feel like 1400 and 1500 of Clair Ridge, and I may just put those as lights that are out. 'Cause that's ridiculous. I noticed last night, I think it was Clair Ridge, was really dark. And there was a purple light. And that's all. It was just the purple light, and it was just really dark out there. So I don't know if there's lights that are also out, but there's definitely, and by the time I come home, I forget all about the lights because my dog is big and he drags me. So I am I am not ashamed. He is big. Um, I have emailed last night. There's a property on Harwall with the door hanging off again.
Hmm.
I've emailed that homeowner. It's been that way for a while. And last night I just took a picture of it and went, just remember to do this. Across the street from it is a property. Well, it says there's a light on down there. Okay. It looks abandoned, but there's a light on in the basement. And when I was looking for the homeowner, did a little research and realized that the homeowner passed away. And the wife is living in Florida. So I don't know if he ever, I don't know when he lived there, but his wife lives in Florida now. I don't know. It doesn't say, nothing says that it's for sale. I really don't know what to do about that. I just don't like that it looks abandoned.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. And that could just cause a lot of problems.
Are they squatters?
Uh, I don't know. I took a
Mhm.
picture last night. There's a light on in the basement, but yeah, this is the 1100 block. I don't know, of Harwall. There's a light on in the basement. It could be an accident light being left on, but the door is not there. The storm door is not there anymore. And I could see through the windows from standing. There's no curtains or anything. But yeah, this picture says there's a light on in the basement.
Hmm.
The end unit across the street from there with the door hanging off, I haven't heard back from the homeowner, but I do know who he is. But yeah, that door's been an issue off and on for a while, that door hanging off. So we kind of want to be on the lookout for things like that.
Mhm.
Just the houses that don't look that look vacant. It's okay to
Mhm.
be vacant, but if they look vacant, that's problems for everybody. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah. Um, Anybody have anything for me so far?
I just want to mention on Forest Park, that box truck that parks there next to the park. When I came by it today, the back end was open, and there was a guy taking stuff out of that and putting it in the trunk of his car. It's used as a storage shed for a construction company.
Mm.
Okay. I think Officer Benz Clark looked into that box truck
Yes,
and it didn't it was within, it wasn't illegally there or anything. That does make sense that it's being used for storage.
it's over the weight limit for a parked vehicle in a residential area.
Mm.
Is it? Because I thought
Sure,
she
it's
went
a
and
box truck. It weighs over 10,000 pounds.
I thought those were 7,000. I know that the Penske, the moving trucks, I know that
Yeah.
those are 10,000 and over.
Yeah. But that box van on Forest Park was parked on Sunset for a while. because it got a ticket. So they moved it up to Sunset. Now they've moved it back over there. And it has South, I think it's South or North Carolina tags on it.
I do remember a resident across the street
Yep.
having an issue with it, and Officer Vince Clark went and checked it out.
But it's an illegal vehicle parked in a residential community. And I'm trying to think of that ordinance now.
I see it in my head. I know exactly. It's on the 1500 block of Forest Park.
Yep. It's parking a commercial vehicle in a residential area, 18-2-206. Panel body delivery trucks having not more than 3/4 of a ton manufacturing rating capacity are not allowed to park as a normal vehicle in a residential community.
Okay.
I have a copy of it.
Yep.
It's been a problem for a long, long time. We had one time had a lot of tractor trailers parked up there.
I have noticed that I noticed last night there's not a lot parked on Sunset.
Yeah.
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 Miss Franzella?
Okay. I have the paint that was required. You want me to, I can take a picture of it and send it to you?
That'll be fine.
Okay, on your cell phone.
That'll
And
be fine.
speaking of doors, 51 still do not have a storm door on there. And that's been for a couple of years now.
Couple of years, yeah.
We we've done a code sweep now. We've done it in the fall. Those are going to be going out right now. What I'm doing is kind of I'm checking what was turned in and getting screenshots of it to turn those in and say, hey, if it doesn't look like this anymore, please let us know and we'll get off your backs. But for the most part, that is the biggest issue that I've seen are the gray porches. That's
Okay.
the biggest issue that I see. But those are gonna go out. That's what's going out next. And then when I spoke to the attorney, I told him that we weren't gonna retain his services until we needed it. Because to retain him, we'd have to continue to pay him, and I don't want to spend money on, it's just not time. Yes,
Okay.
William.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I came home off of Route 40 onto St. Agnes, and I stay on Forest Park, but somebody took that whole sign, which actually has, I think it's Abington or whatever it is, St. Agnes and Forest Park. That sign is completely parallel with the ground. Somebody took it down today. I just noticed it when I came home, either last night or today during the day. But it's
Forest
completely
Park
sideways.
Abington sign?
Yeah, that 5-way intersection at the top of the hill. That's a very large, somebody took the whole sign down. It's ground.
I can't prove it, but yesterday a hook and ladder made a wide turn in there.
Oh, so maybe it was yesterday. I just didn't notice it last night.
It was I got blocked by the hook and ladder waiting for him to make his turn, and he might have done it. I don't know for sure. I didn't see it, but I noticed the sign was down after he left.
Okay, so it's the street sign that kind of. Okay. Okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
DeQuista, this is Sharon. I just wanted to
ma'am.
add, while you guys were talking about the commercial vehicles, we have one at the corner of Granville and Forest Park. It's been called in twice, but it's still sitting there. It's at the very bottom of Granville where it intersects with Forest Park. It's a large yellow color. There's no name or company information on it, but it's just still sitting there. I have no idea. It's been there since they had the sign up about the free tree giveaway.
At the end of Forest Park in
At that
Granville.
intersection, right a little above where the sign, our community sign is, right there on the corner of Granville, where it intersects with Harwell. It's been called in twice, but there's been no activity on it. I have no idea why.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Before you go to mute, Sharon,
Mhm.
you went on the green spaces, looked at the green spaces with, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was wonderful. I really enjoyed the guests and what they shared with us. There were three different groups, and they all wanted to participate in different ways. The one gentleman, he was a little bit aggressive for my taste. He talked about a charcoal burn, and I just didn't think the area was safe enough to do something. But he said it's a controlled burn where they would just go in and rather than, I guess, dig out things that were no longer wanted, they would do a controlled burn. But with houses surrounding the park and cars parking around, I just said to him, as soon as people see flames, the fire department will be there and it'll just, they'll put it out. He just laughed. He was saying it was a quick way to get something done. So I said, and Claire laughed too when he talked about it, but I just thought that'd be a little too aggressive for our community. But the other two guys were talking about they could come in and bring small crews and whatever we wanted taken out, they could go in and work on it, but they didn't have the capability of taking it out. They were asking Claire if she could get permission from Recreations and Park to just hide it somewhere down there. And then when the time came to bring all of the debris up out of it, I'm not sure if Recreation and Parks would bring it all up and sit it on, at that corner where we normally sit bulk items that we want them to pick up. And Claire said she was trying to reach, I think, the director of Recreation and Parks to get some permission to start some of the projects. But I thought it was very informative. We walked up to the triangle. I was the only member from the community that was able to go to that part of it. Myself, Claire, and I think two of the guys that came down with ideas. And there was a resident who came over. We didn't ask her to come up. She just saw us and she walked over towards us. And Claire asked her what she wanted done as far as the triangle was concerned. And, Claire talked about maybe trimming some of the large shrubbery, but she said she didn't want anything trimmed. She wanted it just the way it was. I don't know her. I didn't know, what had been said and not been said. So the only thing I interjected, I just said, I know you've spoken to some other neighbors who live in the area, and maybe I said to her, you can reach out and share your opinion with Jaquisa, and then she can get together with all of you that live right in that area and make a decision. Because Claire had spoke about sight lines, but she said she didn't have any issue with sight lines. And the shrubberies are huge. I didn't realize how huge they are until I actually walked up there.
And you're
It's
walking
as tall
through
as
it
a
and
house. But this one lady said, she didn't want anything done, which it's kind of Claire and I just looked at each other because we didn't know what to say. I don't know her. She didn't say she had spoken to anyone. And I don't think she was active in the community, but she said she liked it to stay the way it was, which was a little confusing for Claire and myself. So I just said Claire gave her the information for you so she could reach out to you. I'm not sure why she didn't want anything trimmed, but there was no one else there but us.
you know what? Maybe I will do a site gathering with those residents right
Yeah,
there.
and see who, because I thought they did want some trimming in there. I think it's really overgrown, but of course, I don't live in that immediate area, so
Yeah.
it
I
was just
noticed
surprising.
with the triangle, for those of you who don't know what the triangle is, because I didn't know for a long time. Um, on the 1400 block of Forest Park, and it's where Forest Park and Newfield Road, they just kind of come together. This triangle, it separates. But yeah, the road separates. You can go to towards St. Agnes. You can go towards Route 40, or you can go towards Ingleside. Take both of those routes on Newfield. And we call that the triangle because it's shaped like a triangle. And it's got these trees. Some of the trees are beautiful. However, the county said that they wouldn't remove them because they didn't plant them.
Right.
I don't know where they came from. The county says, no, we're not going to do it. We've had people on Newfield say that it's kind of it's kind of bad for viewing.
Right.
Can't see past it or anything. What I did notice being up there was that it's on a slant, it's on a hill.
Yes.
It's on a hill slightly, and things that environmentalists, I'll call them, look at is that it means storm water will roll off of it, and how it prevents or causes flooding. And we, knock on wood, don't have an issue with flooding here. And the park could really be a reason why we don't have an issue with flooding. But that part, that triangle there is, I guess we'll just see what Newfield and Forest Park people, we should get them in on the conversation.
Yeah, needs to be more neighbors included. And then they can decide together and reach out to you as to what they really want done there. I just didn't realize how overgrown it is. She did comment on one tree. It appears to be some type of evergreen, and it does appear to be in trouble. One of the guys said they think it's dying because it's actually leaning in one direction. And she did say she thought maybe something could be done with that, but other than that, she thought everything should remain the way it is, which was so surprising to me because for years people have complained
Yes.
about the sight lines and stuff there. So I don't know.
So anyone who is in Forest Park and Newfield people here, I definitely want to hear from you, but I'll probably send out maybe an email to see if anyone wants to just kind of be at the site, if anyone has any suggestions or any comments, or because I do think there should be a say. And maybe community meetings, everybody can't make them. And if you cannot make a community meeting, you can always watch us on YouTube and still make a comment or send an email. I still want to hear. I still want to hear what people think, even though you're not right here in this meeting. But we definitely want to. One thing I've noticed, and just kind of sidetrack a little bit, we've got a lot of litter, and it's getting we're getting more and more litter. And Granville people,
yes.
Granville people, naughty, naughty.
Yes.
Naughty, naughty. People on Granville are people on Granville, some people, I'm not gonna say everyone, just think it's okay. There's a little bit more space there with the county common clearing some of that greenery, and apparently more space on Granville means more places to dump their stuff. That is so ugly. That is ugly. It's ugly, and you ought to know better. I'm gonna say it that way because I can. You know better. That nastiness in this neighborhood.
And it brings the property value down. It doesn't look good. Yeah.
It does not look good at all. But I think where you have people who just come, they only care about their house. Once they step on the inside doors, on the inside, I don't know what the inside looks like, but they don't care about the outside. They don't care about neighbors. They don't care about that. And when I grew up in the South. Again, I grew up in the South. My mom made us pick up everybody's yards. We were not gonna live like that, and it was not necessary. And you had kids who were doing nothing, and they were bored. We could not be bored when I was growing up because you were picking up trash, you were doing all kinds of stuff. Um, And that's why I was thinking, I don't see a lot of kids mowing lawns around here. I just think that's really, really odd.
Yeah,
And
kids don't have chores nowadays, I notice,
right. And
which
it's
isn't
like,
good. Yeah.
it's not. And I do think that being a part, you can be a part of something other than the family that's inside of your home, your immediate family. You can be a part of a neighborhood, and it could. I definitely feel as though we've got some really, I wouldn't say really decent young kids, but we've got some cool young kids in this neighborhood, and it was part of the attraction to the neighborhood for me. I was looking for the first home I looked at was on Harwell. I think the second one I was going to look at was on Kirkwood, but I couldn't find it. And I pulled over and I asked the kid, and I was like, please don't kill me, kid. Please don't. But the kids were really neat, and they let me know where I was going and where I needed to go. Once you see this, you've gone too far. And I thought that was really neat. And that was a part of a reason for me going, yeah, I can see me in this neighborhood. And so I'd love to see if there's any young people, young men, young women, whoever who's interested in just kind of learning to have a part-time job, hey, I'm gonna say the person who cuts my grass, Sam, hi Sam, started out, he cut a few yards in the neighborhood. And I think last year I said, hey, Sam, this lady asked me who cut my yard. Is it okay if I give her your number? And Sam said, no, I'm not taking any more clients. I'm full. So, which let me know that this is this is work. This is work. It's good work. It can be done. I'd love to see snow shoveling and lawn mowing going on around here. I mean, everybody's not going to college, or they're doing like I did, and they're going later in life. But to still be able to do something. I've invited the young man who cuts our shrubs in the center in the median there. I've invited him to join us, so that he can get some knowledge under his belt. Also, I'd like to see him do well in his work. So just kind of keep that in mind when you get this survey, even if it's you want to send your younger person with the good knees out to help, and they bring home the toolkit to you. That is perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. And if you're interested in having your yard be kind of a showcase, I think it's the word I really wanted to say. Um, Let me know. Or put it in and I'll send this out. Does anybody have anything else for me?
DeQuista, are we
Yes.
still
I'm
getting
sorry.
signs for around the park?
Signs around the park.
What
We
type
will
of signage?
for the county from Parks and Rec.
Whomever, wherever we need to get it from. I know it won't won't stop them from throwing the trash down, but at least it'll be a deterrent, and we can say that there are signs, because if it's no signs, meaning that we should not have to put signs there, but
Right.
it could be a deterrent for them not to blatantly throw trash just out regardless.
I am also looking for who to reach out to at MTA for signs and maybe even waste receptacles at the bus stop signs. Those, yeah, I don't know if people are coming or going, but they just dump right there. So it'll be an email to Parks and Rec, and I still have to find. We have an email going. Are you on that email, Angela, with Parks and Rec? There's a
For
there's a lot of emails. To get permission to do work in the park, and I think we also have an email out to property management, because basically through all of this, we haven't received the permissions we should have. We just have someone saying, yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't mind. No, they wouldn't mind. And no, we want to work with them. Parks and Recs have sent, no, property management sent over the work order for the park.
Mhm.
And if you remember, they said, yeah, we're going to do it in half, this half, and then this
Right.
half.
Right.
So we needed to know what exactly that meant. And they sent us pictures of what they've done so far. And the email didn't sound as though they meant to do much more than that, which is not okay. So that's where Don Callahan is going to advocate for us on that. Well, he's currently advocating for us on that. He needs the measurements and all of these things with the park, but he's doing the advocating for us, and he seems to be really good at it. But yeah, they said we've given you guys these planters. And it's like that's not enough. That's not enough. And if they don't, if they aren't stained and all these things, then what's the point? But yeah. So we're gonna probably let that entranceway of the park. Wait a minute, brainstorm. There was an idea that was given. I learned that the entrance to the park from from Forest Park and Sunset, I've seen it. It's kind of just an entranceway to the stream. And there was an idea that we can ask for a bridge to be built across there. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. And I think there would be, for the kids to be able to access the park, it's necessary. It's very necessary. So, go ahead. Susie has someone that she would like to see do the restoration. No, not the restoration. She'd like to see them do the design for the area. But overall, with the design, we need rain gardens, we need environmental things to be added. But whoever does the design, we need um, a bridge added in there. And just when the subgroup finally gets together, we'll see how that'll go. For now, Claire, who joins us, is away and she's taking a much needed break. I think it's a break. But yeah, so we are on that, and I'm pushing it because we need volunteers. Volunteers need this. The community needs all of it. So that's what, and I tell you again, if I'm looking to the side, it's because I have two monitors and I have the agenda going on over here. But for now, I'm opening the floor again. Does anybody have anything else for me? Crime in the neighborhood seems
Yes.
to be pretty decent. Let's keep it that way. Let's report every little thing. Let's report it all. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes. My only concern is I noticed since it's been warm, the mopeds are starting up already, I noticed.
Mm,
Like or I'll call them three-wheelers. But you know, the dirt bikes on riding through the neighborhood, I don't like that. So
yeah.
is there an ordinance in place or something? Like I know we can call the cops or whatever, but
Yeah,
they shouldn't even be on the street.
it would be noise,
Yes, ma'am.
the noise ordinance.
Okay.
However, we need to know who these people are.
Yeah, well, I don't know the kids.
Yeah, if we don't know who they are, we can't identify them or what home they go to, or if we can't identify it, we're just out of
So
luck.
I would have to follow them to find out where they go.
Sort of. Um, we need to be able to identify
Mhm.
where they go,
Where they
because
come.
how else do we say don't do that if we
Right.
can't identify them?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. To
Okay,
keep
that's
the-
what I keep my eyes out too, because I'm hearing them too, and it bugs me.
Yeah.
Yes, William.
Yeah, the vehicle that does the very loud music, I know where the vehicle is. It continues to do it. Still shake the house, literally.
If you send that in a message to me, I'll
Sure.
forward it to Officer Benz Clark. I've actually been out while she was out making those rounds and giving out tickets and stuff. So I can say I've seen her do it with my own eyes. In the chat, William, you mentioned that the triangle could be made into a large garden. I think that's tell Bernie thank you. I do think it's a good idea. I think it would be something with stones and yeah, we were discussing that so
Yeah.
that the water trickle and go down.
Mm,
But I definitely think that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell Bernie thank you. Um,
Well,
anybody got anything else?
Yes, quick question. Is there any plans for a spring dumpster slash shred day?
I'm giving that to Angela. There are plans. She arranged it. Go, Angela. And
Yes, both of them are scheduled for June the 8th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually have that here to ask because I never remember the date. So June the 8th is Shred and Dumpster Day. I am already working on the summer newsletter. So it'll be in there. If anybody ever wants to help, write this newsletter. And I'm also thinking of seeing how many pages I can get away with not writing in the newsletter. I think when we have more information to get out, then we'll do more. I think this newsletter coming out is pretty good. It's a tad bit different. That's all, just a tad. But if there's not a lot of information, I'm not gonna dig back into the annals of time and figure something out just to make up extra pages. We're just gonna, I don't know who it's important to, but I do know that now people are needing less and less information. So that's what's on for me too. But those should start going out this week. Yeah, I've got everything ready to go. Anybody else?
Lisa, this is Angela. I got two things. So at the top of the meeting, you were talking about the screen door, the color of it of being tan. I remember some years ago, I got a notice about that, and my screen door had been up for a while. And I think I mentioned this before during
Yes.
one of our meetings, and I was requested to either paint it or replace it. So those
Okay.
were the options for the one that you actually showed at the top of the meeting, the tan cream color, which was not white. So I painted mine.
I
And then
have
the other
okay, good. What to that I want to say I had a couple that I wanted to set aside and ask you guys as at the next board meeting.
when is the next board meeting?
I don't know. See, you said two questions.
Well, that wasn't my question. I was responding to your statement at our next board meeting. So I just wanted to know when that was. But my next statement was the path that's in between the two end of the group homes on Granville that crosses over to St. Agnes. That pathway, the sidewalk is horrendous and needs to be repaired. So would that be a county issue or would it be a homeowner's issue?
Tell me where it is.
So the sidewalk, there is a path that you can walk through from Granville to St. Agnes to get to it walks through the homes, past the alley to the past the other homes onto St. Agnes. And
think
if you're
that's code
walking that
enforcement.
code enforcement and not homeowners,
No, I don't think so.
No, it's
who
a
would it be
pathway
then?
through the homes.
Right.
Put it up on the map. Yeah, we'll pull it up on the map
And
and
I can send you pictures of it because I have this is the home. I know you remember me talking about it last year. They had a problem with rodents in that yard from trees or whatever it was, and it was reported. So code enforcement, it had been reported several times. So the original homeowner that lived on the opposite side of that passed, and the wife has since moved out, so that home is empty. So in between those two homes is a sidewalk, and the sidewalk leads from one to the end of the homes, through the alley, through the other side, but the sidewalk is tore up now. So it's barely passable. And the only reason I'm saying it is if you're walking it's hard, but if you're moving a wheelchair through it, you barely can get a wheelchair through that
gotcha,
because the
gotcha.
sidewalk. And I'm saying that because I had to bring my mom back and forth through there, and it's horrible. So
Okay,
one is to actually clean it up, and then the other is to have that sidewalk repaired. And I know it can't be attached to the homeowners, but my question is, how does it get? Who does it get reported to get repaired?
okay.
I believe that would be the county,
I was,
the county,
I was
that's
gonna
right of
say the
ways.
which part of the county?
It would be, I'm not really sure, but, it's what they call a right of way.
Okay,
And that is controlled by the county, whether it would be street or, you know,
okay,
DPW or what, I don't know.
okay.
So how is it reported then?
You,
Um,
you're a local representative,
yeah, I was
Margaret.
gonna basically, yeah, I was just gonna say contact Margaret.
Is this something for Margaret?
She
Yeah,
would know.
Okay.
yeah,
She would, yeah,
yeah.
she would know she would know how to take care of that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, because otherwise I was gonna say let's get together on it and
Yeah.
call Margaret. Um,
I
yeah,
was going to mention that they actually, we just actually had our town hall for
Yeah, I
our
know.
district.
I
And then
did.
everybody was bringing up so many things. There were so many different individuals that were there talking about money that they needed, things to be repaired within that area. And I don't know that any of well, I listened to the meeting, but I don't know all the actual associations around here, but I don't know that we were there to represent, to say what we actually needed in our area for
What
funding.
we have done though for our area is attend the speak up in the master plan meetings.
Uh-huh.
I don't really understand,
No,
the town hall meetings.
it's not over with yet.
Yeah, the master plan meetings. I've been to a bunch of those, so it's not over with. Okay, I think there is another one coming up, another town hall meeting, but yeah, I've in the past, one we speak up about, of course, needing more police officers. I did speak up about because I don't know if you know, but monies for the upkeep for the park and our green spaces was given away a couple of years ago to another area that was probably more received as more needing.
Yeah.
Right.
And for a while, it was that the county wasn't even claiming the park, ownership of the park.
You're
Right.
right.
So yeah, and they were like, no, it's not ours, but it says that it's owned by the county. And it says where you can see the signs back where it's overgrown. So we've had to speak. I've really done a lot of speaking up about that. And meetings with Mandy Ramel, our representative. So we're not
Okay.
heard. Yeah, we're not unheard. We're definitely not unheard. I just didn't go to that.
Yeah, I didn't know. I wasn't saying that we was unheard. I was just saying that because of things that we actually need and around in our area, in our community, are they being presented? I know we may not have been there, but we could have sent something or presented something and they could have read it. And even now, at a later date, present something to them within an email. And forward it over to them. I was just saying that because of this walkway of something simple like this could be actually submitted for a correction
There
on.
is actually a grant. Da, 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 da. I feel as though I may have sent you a link. I'll find it, but there's a grant for spaces like that. I
Okay.
actually found out about it on Facebook, but there's a grant for that. I'm gonna find it to see if I actually sent you the link, but I definitely found it on and my interest in it was because I'd like over time for us to have some kind of walkway around the park so that we can
Mhm.
walk and just kind of have a safe area, just an area to walk. Um the grant funding didn't seem to be big enough for that, but it does seem to be big enough for just that. That is fair. Okay. Does anybody have anything else while I write this down?
So for our next newsletter, that fair
Hello.
that Shauna had up at the school, um I got some
Shauna was
great
here.
information out of there. Remember this, they had like a financial planning where they had, I thought it was actually going to be a meeting. It was not a meeting. It was vendors that was out there. So it was
Yes.
credit unions, it was lenders out, and then he had a couple other things. There was a lot of great information out there. I won't refit during this meeting now, but I can forward it to you and we could actually put it inside. That'll be
Cool.
something to go into our next newsletter. And some of them were even willing to come on and be guest speakers for one of our meetings. So
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I am
okay,
here for it.
that's all I
Okay.
had.
Miss Betty, I'm sorry.
Oh, me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So I noticed there are little signs on personal property that says please pick up your dog mess. Do you know where you
Yes.
get those signs from? Did people personally order them? Or
Yeah, they've ordered those probably from Amazon or got them from Lowe's or Home Depot. Yes.
okay. And so where do you go to complain about people not putting their trash cans back in their yards, leaving the lids open, the trash is everywhere.
That would be 311 code enforcement.
Yep.
Okay.
What code enforcement can do, well, one, you can, if you have a picture and a correct address, you can send that to me and I have a portal that I go on to for our code enforcement. I can do that. Also you can report it to 311. Yeah. So that's definitely code enforcement and
Okay, that's good. And so
And actually,
also
code
I missed
enforcement has
something.
been
Did
excellent. They'll definitely take care of it for you.
yeah, code enforcement.
Mhm.
But if you
okay.
if you send it to me, I can go ahead. It takes nothing for me to go ahead and upload it, and no problem. Not one at all. Okay, Bonnie. That won't be a problem. So, um, or if you want to do it, you can do it anonymously. It is anonymous now on
Okay.
at 311. So either way, uh, let me put my EHCA online at gmail.com. I put the email to me
I see
in the
it.
chat. Yes, and I'll go ahead and I'll send it. I have a portal set up. Just really quick, I can get in there. That's no problem. And you know that's summertime, warmer weather is coming, and there's going to be so much more of that. You would think, but it's going to be so much more of that, and then there's going to be a lot of stuff we don't want. I'll check to see if when the next code sweep, or if I don't know if I have to schedule it. I never know each year. For the county, when the next one is, and find out where we are on the rat eradication again this time of year. I heard that it goes in cycles, and everybody's just they would tell us
Yeah.
when. But yeah, I'm hoping that with these, I would hope with the new trash cans, the purpose of those were so that we would have new cans.
And
We
I
may
gave
have,
my trash can to them, and they won't even use it.
Yeah, I know. How do you get rid of an old trash can?
It's unreal.
mm, yeah. So yeah, if there's a problem, and you can text email me, and I'll see if they're renters, and if they're renters I can get in touch with the homeowner.
Yeah.
And let them know that that's a problem.
So,
Sounds good.
Okay.
so this is Bronzella. So did you say take a picture of the trash cans with no lids, and or if they're sitting out in the yard?
If there's an offense, if you see a situation that could cause attract rats, take a
Okay,
picture, and yeah, take a picture, send it to me. I'll upload it to the portal and give them they want a picture and the correct address.
gotcha.
So yeah, I can take care of that. Not a
Okay,
problem.
okay.
Anything else?
Oh, and yes to your text question.
Okay, gotcha. They'll be in tomorrow. So
Okay.
okay. Um, okay. I'm making notes, but that's it for me, guys. You guys got anything for me?
Chiquista, if I
Yes,
could,
sir.
going back a little bit to the triangle,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about that when we met up at the park before, and
Yes.
they were going to have somebody, because I suggested a company, and they had somebody else that had a company, was going to take a look at the trees in the triangle and offers what suggestions, what needed to be done as far as that pine tree, because it does look like it's going to fall. It needs to be trimmed down. All of the bushes and trees there do need to have some pruning done to them. I'm not saying trim them down to nothing. Pruning is a healthy thing to do to trees. But then I suggested that in the lower corner of it where the water would run off, to plant a wildflower garden, which will draw butterflies and whatnot. And that would also control the water runoff.
That's what if I remember correctly, what Claire mentioned. I think it's a
Okay.
butterfly garden, or but
Yeah,
yeah,
she did.
yeah, it's what do you call it? It would be a rain garden.
Rain garden, yeah.
It will be a rain
Type of,
garden.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be
So
beneficial for everybody. It would beautify the park, the
yeah,
triangle. But
yeah.
one of the things that does need to be done is somebody come in who knows trees, an arborist, and trim them. The company that I suggested, Groundhog, that's what they do. They do landscaping, and I would
Do
even
you
talk to
work
them
for them?
about building a bridge across at the end of Sunset. Because
Yeah.
they do that type of work, heavy gardening, if you will.
Okay.
So, he'll come out and give you an estimate and do that kind of thing, and it won't be a charge for that.
Okay.
But yeah, they were going to
Okay.
contact some other company too that they were familiar with. There were a couple of people there from the city. What was it? Organization?
That's Grow Home.
Yeah, something like that.
Grow Home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they do. One thing I did learn is that they have people who are interested in so many different facets of
Yeah.
this stuff that
Yeah, I
they
know.
are very happy to be. But yeah, I will. I already have a meeting scheduled with Claire, and hopefully I'll be able to make that a bigger meeting with the subcommittee, and we can all talk about that.
Okay.
And yeah, so
That'd be
yeah,
good.
sounds good.
Okay.
Everybody good until next month? If
So
not, you
far.
got all my, you know how to reach me. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Um, good night, everybody. See you
All
next
right.
month.
Thank you.
Good
All right.
night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Take care.
Good night, thanks.
Good night.
Good night.